Well, here I am, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can't sleep. I had a wisdom tooth out a week ago now. I'm going hunting. I'm going to go out and see if there's any deer roaring out in the bush. Catch up. Good morning, it's very early in the morning. I need a haircut. Look, I've got the hoff going on. Anyway, haircuts aside, it's a glorious day. Now, I probably look like I'm out to lunch because I am out to lunch. I'm still on codeine and anti-inflammatories because I had my wisdom tooth out a week ago now, and I've got a condition that is called as dry socket. So no, I'm not baked, I'm not hungover, I just have had a week with very little sleep. Thanks to Gary Lumino Dentist, who sent me away without telling me that I wasn't supposed to rinse for 2 days after my surgery, and I rinsed the blood clot out. Now I've got dry socket, but everything's still working. I'm just in a lot of pain. Tomorrow I'm heading up to go hang out with Clay Tall Stories and Simon Fowler, which is pretty exciting. We're going on a raw trip. We're going into the Clarence. I know some of you guys may be thinking, hey, you're jumping the gun, it's too early for the raw, but the mature stags will start moving around and moaning on the full moon, the first full moon of March, which is actually tomorrow, I think, or today or tomorrow. So hopefully someone else is getting out there. Well, not where we're going, but out there. Hopefully some of you other fellas are getting out there and giving it a crack. Check this out. This is a new knife made by Shelley Raskin. I designed it. It's got a kind of hook towards the back of the hand. Now the reason that hook's there is to stop the knife flying out of your hand when you chop. It's quite big, it's fairly big. I've got real big hands, so it probably doesn't look that big, but it's that long. At 10 inches long. I don't actually know how long it is, but it's fairly long. It's got a lot of weight, and the reason I'm showing you this knife is, one, because it looks awesome. I don't know if it is awesome. It's got these little things in the back, choils, I think they're called, choils up the spine of the blade for when you're skinning and working the knife up. It's got a lot of weight in the forward bit to chop wood with, and it's also shaped like a skinner. Now if you see, it's a black colour. It is a lovely black colour. It's got a very lovely black patina on this knife, and it's a high carbon knife, so the reason I put this patina on was to stop it rusting. Now, how I put this patina on was I soaked the knife in vinegar overnight, in a malt vinegar. Now I've also just put a patina on this forward here. So if you have a look at this, I've got this forward, I've just put this really nice black patina on this forward. I tend to do this to most of my knives when I get them. Soak them in vinegar and put a patina on them before I use them. Yeah, if you have a look at that, this forward's now got a really nice black patina, and then what I'll do is I'll polish it off with a just with a rag or a tea towel or something, clean it off, and then the knife carries a really nice black patina. So that's how to put a patina or a natural coating on your high carbon steel knives. Soak them in vinegar. It does dull the edge, so you'll have to restone the edge once you've put the patina on. But I just put vinegar in a jar and then put a piece of wood in to bring the level up to the knife. Right on. So today I'm going to show you guys what I'm packing for the raw trip. Lots of people ask me what I pack for hunting trips. I don't really have a set list written on the wall. Basic things are a first aid kit, EPIRB, clothing that's suitable to the area I'm going. So I want to take enough warm clothes depending on what time of year it is. If I'm hunting high alpine, I'll tend to take fleece because it's lightweight and it's not so wet high alpine. Unless it's raining, then I'll take some wool layers. If I'm hunting bush, I'll tend more towards taking woolen clothing, because wool stays warm even when it's wet. So places such as Fiordland, if I was going in there, I'd probably tend towards woolen clothing and just a couple of lightweight fleece outfits for around camp that I'll keep dry, and I'll just wear those when I'm around camp. But when I'm in the bush, I know I'm not going to stay dry in the wet bush. That water just wicks itself in every which way, so I'll just wear wool and look at getting soaked for the entire trip. But now we're going inland. We're going inland up the Clarence River somewhere. It's going to be very dry. We might get a few showers, but I'm aiming for cold nights and quite dry, high temperatures in the daytime. So probably be packing fleece with maybe just one wool singlet or one wool t-shirt in case we do get some wet days. We're going to be climbing high, but also camping next to the main river. So there's going to be sandflies, so for shelter at night I'm probably going to be choosing something that's fully enclosed, so if we do choose to sleep in, we can sleep in without getting hammered by sandflies. And late summer, if there's any kind of swamp around or grass, long grass, there's going to be mosquitoes. Now the Clarence doesn't tend to have really long grass, but I am going to take some kind of insect protection for sandflies and mosquitoes at night. So if you go with just a bivy bag and no tent or anything like that, or mesh protection, and you go somewhere where there are going to be mosquitoes, you're going to have very uncomfortable nights because the mosquitoes are going to be relentless. And also it means you can't sleep in or rest during the daytime if you're at river level because of the sandflies. Although to get away from those sandflies you can push up on the river terraces. So I'm going to go inside. I haven't started getting my stuff ready yet. I've only just confirmed with Simon Fowler from Wild Game Wild Places that I'm coming. I'm pretty excited about this. Clay's tour series is going to be there. I've only hung out with Clay briefly at the hunting comp. I actually haven't hung out with him. I just met him because he was real busy. So we're going to get to hang out for a week, and maybe Clay will bring his guitar along and we'll be able to have a bit of a jam session, which is cool. Right, that's it. I'm going to go inside now, and I've still got a pounding headache. I'm going to go inside and pack for the trips. Hopefully I don't have this toothache on the bloody trip. I'm going to drive up to Marlborough tomorrow, and then we're flying in with a Cessna with a plane, hopefully, if the weather allows us to. But yeah, fingers crossed my tooth's healing. I think it will be. I think in another day or two she'll be good to go, and I won't have a pounding headache on the hill every day. I'm going to go inside, pack all my stuff, and I'm going to lay it out on the ground for you just so you can see what I'm taking on this mission. Alright. Got to find my stuff somewhere around here. I got
Sonny, stop, you're going to break it.
what do I need? Alright, I need, oh shit. I need kids' toys on the ground. Pack a raft because we need to cross the river to Clarence.
Sonny,
I wouldn't normally take this on a conventional trip, but I'll tell you what, comes in bloody handy. So one pack a raft. I've got dry bag, Stony Creek Buller pack, one of those, EPIRB, first aid kit.
I could show everybody what I put in my packs when I go out the door. Maybe they'd like to see that.
You don't go hunting though.
Snacks and diapers and baby wipes.
Oh yeah, let's do your bag and my bag.
Hey, Sonny.
I have a bag.
Oh, and your bag? What's in your bag?
There.
Oh, yeah. Socks? Pineapple socks?
Very important piece of equipment.
What else goes in your bag, Sonny?
Alright, enough bloody Sonny and Kristen. Speaking of socks, actually, I recommend these 0.6 socks. They're bloody good. Merino socks. There's a couple of other brands out there that are good as well, but these 0.6, I've been thrashing them. Oh, let's turn that autofocus off. Push the button. There we go. Manual focus. Alright. 0.6 socks here. 0.6 socks, bloody awesome. They're merino wool blend. I've been thrashing them for a couple of months now, and they're awesome. They dry quick. If you can wear 2 thin ones or 1 thick one, and they don't stink. They're bloody good. Right where I was in my sleeping bag, I keep my sleeping bag hung up from the roof there, so it stays, so the loft stays lofty. That's a Black Stag by Stony Creek. It's getting a bit old now. Actually, I need to get another one. So I've used it, and it's not quite as warm as it used to be. Alright, bivvy. I'll take this bivvy bag. Oh yeah. No, sorry, that's right. I'm going to put the camera down, get all my stuff ready, and then I'm going to touch base and let you know what I'm taking. Alright, here we go. It's all laid out on the floor. I'm just going to grab bits and hold them up one by one. Sleeping bag. Stony Creek fly. This is the Stout fly. It's kind of a comfortable one-man, small two-man fly. This is a Thermarest X-Therm. It's very, very small and very comfortable. Packs out to about that thick. If you want to go even smaller, you can get the Neo Air. Bivvy bag, depending on what time of the year it is. So I'll take a bivvy bag, or I'll just take my sleeping bag, my Thermarest, and a fly. But I'll throw the bivvy bag in anyway. That's going to get chucked in there. Now on this trip I'm also taking a tent just for the base camp. So if we're hanging around at base camp and there's sandflies, because it's going to be at river level, I've got my tunnel tent, Hilleberg, this one, a very expensive tent. I never used to be a gear freak, I tell you what, but ever since I started to get free gear or discounted gear, I've become a bit of a gear freak. Discovery Channel bought me this, thanks Discovery Channel. Hilleberg tent. Alright. Hydration, it's got bloody, oh no, has it got mouldy in there? Oh no, it's just the hydration salts I put in there the other day and forgot about because I was going to go hunting but didn't. Alright, I'll take a Camelback. Now the reason I prefer a Camelback as opposed to a water bottle is that I can just keep sipping away on this all day and keep myself hydrated as I go. The disadvantage of having a Camelback as opposed to a water bottle is you don't see how fast it's going down, so you can't tell when you're about to run out of water and all of a sudden you run out of water. But I think I stay a lot more hydrated using this Camelback because I am hydrating myself as the day goes on. Right, Camelback, that's going in there. I've got my pack here. This is the Stony Creek Buller, 60 litre plus 10 litre, so 70 litre. And it's really good because it's got these compression straps on the side, so you can use it as a day pack as well as a multi-day pack. So that's my pack, that's going in. EPIRB. Always carry an EPIRB on me on the hill unless one of my mates has got one, then I won't take one. But I'll make sure that on every trip, on every expedition, one of us has got an EPIRB just in case we ever break a leg or cut a femoral artery. It just saves a lot of uncomfort, and it's also peace of mind for your loved ones back at home. So EPIRB, that goes in there. First aid kit. First aid kit is just very basic. I'm going to come a bit closer here. Alright, I've got, in my first aid kit, I've got a little tiny, it's just a flat diamond sharpener for my knife, lightweight diamond sharpener. Compass, I guess I'll include that in the first aid kit. Compass, I'm just going to change my focus on here to manual focus. Alright, there we go. Compass, lighter and fire lighter, so rubber. I'll take a few bits of rubber, and also in here I carry some alcohol wipes, just a bunch of those just to clean a wound out if I do cut myself, just to stop it getting infected. I'll also take some betadine or disinfectant, antiseptic liquid, and some plasters. I find these material plasters are really good because you can just do one big strip of these and you can cut them off singly, or you can use it as one big plaster to stop a bleed. I'll also take a bandage. Right, there's my bandage, just a small bandage, and then I'll have some, just a non-adherent or non-adhesive pad just in case I get a really bad cut, so I can clean it out and slap that on. And also I sometimes take butterfly strips, which I seem to have run out of those. Oh, and pawpaw gel, or this is really good, pawpaw ointment. This is really good for stings, for blisters or sunburn or chafed lips, any of that kind of stuff. Magic stuff, this pawpaw ointment. So that's my first aid kit. Super basic. I think more importantly than having a first aid kit is having first aid knowledge and knowing what to do if you cut yourself. First aid knowledge is pretty basic when it comes to cuts and scraps and bruises. It's clean it out, stop the bleeding with pressure, rest, ice, compression, elevation or rice, and making yourself as comfortable as possible till you get evac'd. And there's also other things such as, say, compound fractures, putting a splint on and opening that fracture up, just packaging if you've got a broken collarbone or a dislocated shoulder, knowing how to deal with one of those. Pretty basic stuff, the old first aid, but very good to know. Right, now what else have I got? I've got my honey. I've got, this isn't first aid, we've moved on from first aid now, a stainless steel cup. I take a stainless steel cup because I can put it on the fire and boil water in it. I can also cook in there if I want to cook some heart or some kidneys or some liver or whatever. And I'll also take my thing of tea bag and my magnesium tablets here. Magnesium is really good for rehydrating and also good for sleep. Okay, I'm going to move back down there. Binoculars, they go in, depending on if I'm bush hunting I won't take binos, if I'm open country hunting or hunting on tops I'll take binos. Head torch, that's a must, a head torch and spare batteries. 2 sets of spare head torch batteries, just in case I run out. Okay, moving on here. Oh, the hat. Let's change back to autofocus. Okay, this hat, this is a really small lightweight hat that Stony Creek make, it's really good. It's a cap, sorry, just in case you're up on the tops to prevent sunburn. Here we go. And it's also high vis too, so you can put it on and not get shot. Okay, cap, my cap. Knife and a belt. Sometimes I'll just take the knife in my pack sometimes I'll take a knife and a belt. I usually only take the belt if I'm expecting to carry meat, or if I'm just going on short day trips from camp and carrying a small pack, then I'll put the knife around my waist. Otherwise I'll put the knife in the pack. But on this trip I'm taking the knife and a belt because we're going to set up base camp, and then I'll probably just go really light for some day hunts and maybe some overnight hunts. So knife and belt. A couple of dry bags. These are really important to keep stuff dry. I usually take one big dry bag, which I haven't got at the moment. It got a big hole ripped in it, so I'm just waiting for another one to show up. So a couple of small dry bags to keep my sleeping bag dry and to keep a dry set of clothes in case I injure myself. I have a dry sleeping bag and a dry set of clothes, or if I get back to camp and it's been hammering with rain, I can change into my dry set of clothes. Raincoat right there. That's the Stony Creek Tarn 3, awesome piece of equipment. I prefer a really lightweight raincoat for this trip, but I don't have one. I only have the heavy duty Stony Creek one, so that's going to have to do. I'm going to grab my camera and move closer here, just so you can see. There we go, that's better. Alright, saves me walking backwards and forwards. That's a Primaloft jacket, so I'll take a Primaloft jacket. And for clothing layers, on this trip I'm going to take a short sleeve merino, a long sleeve merino, another long sleeve merino. I've got the Blue Blaze here, fleece, and I've also got some of this. This is developed by the US Army. It's a thermal, but it's got all these little tiny squares in it, so it's very, very warm, very lightweight. So that's another top. And then for bottoms, I'll take some fleece longs. I'll take another pair of these pants, which are the same warm square box fleece pants. Level 2 they're called. Helicontex. Helicontex Comfort Dry. So there you go, level 2. That's the name of these thermals. The US military use them. I'll take a heap of socks. I'll take enough socks for camp socks and then hunting socks for the day. So I'll take, if I'm going for 7 days, I'll take 7 pairs of these sick wool socks in the warehouse. These are really good, these sick wool ones from the warehouse. And then I'll take probably 4 or 5 pairs of my 0.6 merino socks, which are really good. I actually take more than that. I'll take 7 pairs of socks from the hill, and then I'll also take 3 pairs of very thin merino socks as well. 0.6 also thin merino socks. Sometimes I wear 2 socks up on the hill, thin layer and a thick layer. What else am I taking on this trip? Some gloves, just in case it gets cold at night for chilling around camp. And then I'm also taking the Jetboil, and then this small pot here. This is just a small lightweight pot that I can cook on the fire. So when I'm on the hill, if there's wood available, I won't take the Jetboil. I'll just take a small lightweight pot. Now, I used to take an aluminium pot, but aluminium is actually quite bad for you. It causes all sorts of nasty stuff later on in life. So I stopped cooking with aluminium when I can help it. And this is just a titanium pot that I can cook on the fire with just a boil of water for my backcountry meals, and also my homemade freeze-dried peas and whatnot, and my Absolute Wilderness meals, or whatever I choose to take. I actually don't have any Absolute Wilderness. I've completely run out, and you can't buy them at the supermarket, so I don't have time to wait for the order to come in. I'm just going to buy some backcountry. Oh yes, packer raft. I'm going to take the wee packer raft there to get across the Clarence River, because we'll probably have to cross the river on this trip. So that's it. That's basically what I'm taking on this raw trip. Oh, and a pair of shorts. I forgot to mention my short shorts. Let's click that back in there. I'll also... What you got? Whoa, they're pink. They're very pink. Yes. Footwear. I'll take a pair of camp shoes, probably my gumboots for hanging around base camp. Oh yeah, your other gumboots. Yeah, you go put them in the rack outside, mate. And then I'll take my lowers. I'll go show you my lowers actually. Bye. Alright, here we go. There's my lower boots. These are the lower, I can't even read the labels, worn off. I think these are the GTX wide. They're pretty good. I've had them for about a year now. As you can see, the rands peeling off around the side. A lot of people complain about the rands peeling off particular boots, but boots are not indestructible, guys. You cannot find an indestructible pair of boots. Maybe if you're not putting them through their paces, but as you can see, the bottom of these is fairly worn, and they've still got a bunch of life left in them. Really important to treat your boots well and to put the right kind of wax on them. Use beeswax, Do not use dubbin or an oil-based product or a grease-based product. It's very, very important you use beeswax, because beeswax will let air escape. It'll breathe while being waterproof. Oh, a falcon just came screaming through the yard. That was pretty cool. Right. I think that's it. Stay tuned, because I'm about to fly up into the Clarence Valley, which has been 1080'd, and Wara's been in there as well, so I'm not too sure how we're going to go. I'm going in with Clay Tall Stories and also Simon Fowler from Wild Places Wild Game. I'm not too sure how the video is going to work, because they both have YouTube channels as well, but I guess we'll make a video each, and then you guys can watch the hunt from different perspectives. There's going to be 4 of us going. Cam's coming in too, so there's going to be 4 of us going in, so we'll split up in groups of 2, I'm assuming, and go several different ways over several different days. We're in there for a week. Fingers crossed we'll get on some good stags. I'm not going to take the bow on this trip because it's very, very open country with long shots across gullies. There's no or very little scrub or bush or anything for stalks. It's all very open and very dry, so I'm going to take the rifle on this trip, and then on my next 2 raw trips I'll be taking the bow and shooting bow only. We're expecting some long range shooting on this trip, and the chance of a chamois as well, possibly. We'll see. It'll be a pretty awesome trip nonetheless. I just hope that my bloody tooth is better and comes right. I'm expecting it to come right today or sometime tomorrow. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll just take a bunch of codeine and ibuprofens and a big cup of Harden cup, and we'll be sweet as, mate. Alright, we'll see you out there.